Hello friends, welcome to Testing Shala YouTube channel. In this video, I will be discussing about how you can write a test cases for Gmail sign up and how you can write a test cases for Gmail registration. So I'll be talking about two functionalities, how we can go and write the test cases in detail in this video. So before I explain in detail about how you can go and write the test cases for these two modules, if you guys have not subscribed to Testing Shala YouTube channel till now, then please click on subscribe and bell icon so that all our future videos will be in your inbox. So let us move on and understand so how you can write the test cases for Gmail sign in and registration. The first of all, we will talk about is registration. So normally when you go to the any browser, and enter gmail.com, then you will be taken up to the sign in page where you can enter your email or a phone, or there is also an option called as a create account. If you can see, right, this is a option. Also you will have it, you will have an option create account also there, where by clicking this it will take you to create account page where you can create a new account altogether. So first of all we will focus on create account, which is a registration page. After that, once this is done, we will go back to the sign in test cases. So in order to come to this page, sign in page, basically you should go back to the Gmail URL. After entering the Gmail URL, then there is a sign in button will be there on the right side. When you click on sign in button, you will get into this page. Then now we have to click on create account. Now we will see the next page where we wanted to enter all the information related to the user when we are going to create a Gmail account. When you click on create account, so we'll be seeing something the screen would look like. So if you can see, right, so we have a first name, we have a last name, then you have a username at gmail.com, and also we have password, which is first password, then again confirmation password, then also we have show password checkbox is there. So these are the some of the text fields we have in this page. Now how can we go and write test cases for every field which is available in this page? So first of all we will see the first name and last name. So what are the test cases which we can write? The first name and last name here basically a text field. Basically it is a text field, the first name and last name. So I will be talking about certain test cases here. First of all, we should validate. So whatever the first name and last name, whether we can enter a character or whether we can enter a numbers. So before, as a note, before writing any test cases, before writing any kind of test cases for whatever the functionality you can talk about, first you should understand what are the requirements. Even somebody asks you in the interview, if somebody asks you in the interview, can you go and write test cases for certain things? For them, you just ask them, can you tell me what are the requirements? So based on the requirements, then only you can write a test case. Similarly here as well, it is not just have 2 or 3 fields. We should also ask what is the requirement. Let's say first name and last name. What are the different validations we need to make? What are the conditions we have to make? Whether these fields are mandatory or not. All those validations, requirements you should get from your customer so that you can put those test cases in your testing bucket. Unless if the requirements are not clear, definitely you will be putting your test cases in a very vague manner and which is of no use. At the end of the day, all your test cases should trace back to your requirement. That is where the RTM will come into picture. When you are not able to trace back all your test cases back into requirement, there is no point in writing any test cases. Hence, the first thing is you should do here is get the requirement, what you really require to validate. So first name and last name will be validating by entering appropriate characters, appropriate numbers, and also will be tested with uppercase and lowercase. Based on your requirement, whether it is a mandatory or a non-mandatory, your requirements will talk about it. Hence, first you need to validate your requirements. The next is the minimum characters allowed and maximum character allowed, both in the first name and last name text fields. This also needs to be get a requirement from your business analyst and product owner. Then only you can write the appropriate. You cannot just imagine minimum is this much and maximum is that much. That needs to be called out clearly in your requirement. The next thing is we should also validate it for any negative test cases. Negative cases means maybe you start pumping to the first name and last name some special characters, or maybe some of the tags from HTML code or even JavaScripts. Normally what happens, right? Somebody trying to put these special characters into these fields, normally application behaves drastically a different way. I've seen many places, if we start giving some these JavaScripts, we can easily hack the system, we can get the information from the databases. I've seen that kind of situations as well. Because of that, it is better to provide HTML tags and JavaScripts into this text field to see is there any possibility that we can retrieve certain data from the database. We don't know. So hence we should validate those aspects as well. The next test case is whenever you enter the first name and last name with some name followed by some spaces. Maybe let's say Gangadhar, Ganga space and Dhar. Now whenever I try to say it should get, the space should get trimmed out. If the space is not getting trimmed out, then we have a problem, because you should not take the spaces. Again, this is also based on your requirement. If requirement says that you should keep the space, then you should keep the space, otherwise you should trim it off. You should also check for, let's say you have something, let's say you have stored some first name Gangadhar in a notepad, then I copy that Gangadhar from the notepad. If I try to put it to the first name, still you should accept it. If it is not accepting, then we have a problem. You should have copy paste. You should be able to perform on this first name and as well as last name as well. And you should also validate the UI elements. UI element means the coloring, then the alignment and the size of the text field. All those things you should validate, even font size of the text we are entering. So all these validations you should do in terms of the UI perspective. So you can add some more test cases to validate those aspects as well in terms of the UI perspective. Then the next one is, whenever, let's say after I entered the first name, then I wanted to move on to the last name, where I wanted to enter again last name. So some people, what they will do, they will take a mouse and they will place a cursor on the last name. But let's say some people will not have a mouse. That is the time where we will use tab. Tab, what will do is it will move the cursor from first name to last name, and again it goes back to the another field, which is goes in a sequence. Hence many people uses tab keyword as well. Hence it is always to test whether the order is going appropriately or not whenever I am clicking on tab button. That is also that kind of test cases also you should validate it. So till now, at least you guys are able to understand the first name and last name, what are the different kinds of test cases you should write. Maybe think through yourself. You can also come up with a lot of new test cases. Maybe validate against all the testing techniques. It could be boundary value analysis, or it could be equivalence partitioning, or it could be many testing techniques are there. You can adapt for every validation. If you adapt different combination, definitely we can get a lot of test cases. The next thing is, so we will validate for username, which is an email altogether. So this is an account. Whenever I try to create an email ID where I will be giving username, which is very crucial. And let's see what are the validations we can make for username. So here we will be validating username with a right email ID. So right email ID means whether it can take a special characters. Again, as I said, you should get a requirement from your customer. Basically, what are the things for username it can take. And definitely email IDs should not take certain special characters. Those things should also validate it. And even username cannot have 200 characters, right? It will have minimum maybe 8 characters minimum and maximum is character this many. So again, these things also you should get from the requirements, and any numbers also can be included in the username. There are certain email ID can be, you can place a period followed by maybe let's say test.123 at gmail.com. Test.test123 at gmail.com, something like that we can provide. So you should look into that kind of test cases also to validate whether it accepts minimum, maximum characters, letters, numbers, and a period. Then also you should validate, let's say I'm not going to give any username. So I'm not going to enter anything in this field, how it reacts. You should throw an error message because you cannot just keep empty username, then I can ask Google to create an account. That is not possible. So you should validate, that is also an error message, you should validate it. Now you are able to get an idea. So for username, what are the test cases you can write. Then we will move on to the password field test cases.